Alright, hello everybody, this is Demon, coming back for another round of Final Fantasy XIV. Luckily it turned off the crap that I don't want to watch anymore in the background. And with that, let us go ahead and start up. So, if you remember last episode, Thancred, Oriange, and Y'shtola, unfortunately, for some reason their souls have been taken from their bodies as we heard a random voice calling out to us. The question is, were they calling out for us specifically or for the entire group? If I remember right, I think they said she was going to look into some stuff. And we also learned that Solus, the original emperor for Garlemald, still alive and is an Ascian. Ain't it fun?
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news. After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring.
He's a Jesus. God damn it, got all this crap on my damn mouse.
Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Oriange and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle, and Alphino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
Oh yeah, I forgot Alphino was still with Shadowhunter and they discovered Black Rose. Oh, that's always so fun.
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Cryo!
Kryle! I did not think you well enough to travel.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Yes, I should have thought of that. Thank you for coming, Kryle. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
Oh god, they're making fun of him.
That particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault, but I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened. Thanks to a certain someone. A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh?
Never.
Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
I've messing with Alphino. Everybody should know this speech. I do like the comedy aspect of it, though. Ooh, a book. The hell are in those jars?
All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep. Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes?
Yeah, it was in Jesus Land.
If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
I wasn't around for that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
On the march. Oh, I gotta pay more money. No! I don't want to pay money. I believe in money. The easiest route to get there. Right up here, the Eldershire. Of course. Hey, clear. Okay, I was slightly worried where I spawned. Okay, heads this way. I've been here for a while. I think, what, we haven't been here since... Is that Realm Reborn? I'm trying to think. No, it might have been Heaven. No? Heaven Reborn? Yes. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking a yes. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, it had to have been Heaven's Ward. Yeah, oh, yeah, it was Heaven's Ward. My brain's got some type of knowledge. I don't think I can fly here, can I? Nope. Yeah, I guess I can fly. A little bit? Eh, I don't know. Oh, but, yeah, between playing this, I've actually been doing a lot of stuff off-screen for a while. I don't know. I've been trying to play a lot of more. I'm trying to do the Ishgardian stuff because I want to get the one outfit. The problem is that I'm too low leveled, and I don't have that much money to my name because I have to buy. I just buy all the material. So I've been like trying to find other sources of income for a while, and it's just been a big pain in my ass. Oh yeah, I forgot. Actually, wait a minute. I have some of that stuff still available on sale over there. I should probably take those things off of there. I could probably, because I've been wondering, because like with a lot of the Ishgardian stuff going on, I've been trying to come up with an easy method to do it. I've reached a high enough level in my blacksmith that I actually am done with the alloy stuff, which is pretty cool. But I have to do these nail things now. Like, this actually wasn't that bad. It took me a while to. I produced like 50. I'm not gonna lie, I produced a lot of these alloy things without the realization that you had to reach a certain quality level. Well, not quality, but collectability level. And I hadn't known that that was a thing, because it doesn't really specify, but when you're producing it, it does. But I hadn't known, so I was trying to figure out how to do it. I also didn't have enough what they consider crafting points to be able to do it properly. So it took me a while to understand what I was doing, but after I figured it out, it was actually pretty easy. I've been wondering if maybe I should make a video on the certain things. I might do it in the future, like to show the different ones and how to do it. Please do keep Alphino's little speech to yourself. He can be awfully sensitive at times. Oh, that is true. I didn't Master Matoya was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'm happy to overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us. But, yeah, I've been trying to do this all off-screen, so it's been a pain. My next goal is to make 1 million credit. But I'm poor.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems. Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders. Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she?
Yep.
Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
That's kind of funny. I seen something funny on Twitter.
Right. Let us see what we can see.
What can we see?
I'll begin from where our friends first fell, and cast my senses out from there.
I see Jesus. That was not a happy face.
What is it? Did you find them?
But this doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could the ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the broodmother's daughter all over again.
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment. Yes? I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way. That was Lise. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them. I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
Let's march. Sorry, I couldn't do more. I've never seen a soul's thread end so abruptly before. So that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had a distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. When Alphinaud is back, I'd like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of grandfather. Almost can't bear to wait hear what Max has to tell us, but it can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said, unless... there's so much speculating. Lise said to be notified of the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate in Alamegan Court. I'll be praying for good news, learn what you can about Alphinaud's plight, and leave the search for our friends' lost souls to me. Where's the crowd going? How much? Ah! 999! No! Money. I love money. So good to see the finances coming in from selling stupid stuff. I really gotta remind myself to do that. I could probably show how to do the Ishgardian stuff. I'll make it a side thing. I love this game. Cause it pissed me off because every time I tried to look online to try to figure it out, nobody really explained it. And it was like, oh, you should know this because it explains it, but it doesn't really explain it. And if you're not used to the crafting and stuff like I am, you won't know nothing. Although I will say I did pretty damn well. I got this to level 41, I think. It's not too bad for me. No, we already has to be. Eorzeans, Commander told me to expect you, shall I show you in? Of course, I like that Royal Palace. Palace Royale.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphinaud, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphinaud?
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events. Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing. As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Ascians. This shadow hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphinaud, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
Well, At least he's not lying in a heap in the burn. Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphonse still with them?
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them. They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphonse asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's Guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went, until we finally arrived here in Alamigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
True that.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you. During the course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night. It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion. I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
No, they won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on! No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
Would you and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hier know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphonse too.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
Oh, not again.
Untold sorrow must be changed. Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
We're okay? We're okay.
You heard it too. Well, at least we're both still standing.
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
My thing is every time it's happened, somebody in our group's been affected. So let's see, Crowd didn't confirm it. We didn't see Alphonse getting affected by it, but we don't know that. So Alphonse is safe for the present, at least. Now all we have to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. I'm actually glad at least tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be dashing from place to place than sitting around stewing over things we can't change. To the Enclave. Nobody had seen back at the Rising Stones seem to be affected either, so the question is who got affected by that one. I just bet more money. Yeah, this is me right now. This rain describes my emotions. Crippling depression. See, tidings for Lord Hien. May I show you in? Please. Kind of represent the lands of Noxia. How long have we struggled to find to the Empire, waiting for such an opportunity as this alliance presents? Good. Fall of Robin Austri was not the end of our nation. We who survived retreated underground and have been gathering strength to mount a counteroffensive. But Moscow will rise again. Good man. Oh yeah, the Blue Koji will not submit to the Empire's tyranny if our red brethren would awaken to their folly. Zerna. They're humbling at your hands. Magnai and his Orano have spent every waking moment upon training fields. Defeat does not sit well with the sun and his children. Well, that's good. Tansu. The Imperials have enjoyed the freedom of the Ruby Sea for long enough. 'Tis time they paid their dues. Good man. Unknown Doma could accomplish little against the Empire, but in concert with the allies who have gathered here today, we might do much. I need arrived in time to witness the beginnings of our new alliance. Our proposal struck a chord with many of our neighbors. I am pleased to say. Good, that means we're finally going to get something done in Doma and in the West. Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors with the members of our newly formed alliance. Coach and the Confederacy, we already know it was your own strength of arms that won us cooperation of the steppe tribes. We've also been joined by our neighbors from Noxia and the indomitable citizens of Moscow, though the scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official induction. The proud people is united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Garlean Empire. Glad to see that your alliance is coming so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength. Moscow's people seem like they're like El Amigo. Territory was taken, they had to do underground resistance movements, and they're here now in scattered groups. Thank you for bringing me news of Alphina. His fate is never far from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As for this sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Alamigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. And I would help deflect that blow, but I cannot help sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assault until our wall in the burn is in place. The all-important elegant energy barrier. Energy barrier, yes. I thought to call it something more conspicuous. A name drawn from the four lords of legend, perhaps Ceru's Aegis, or some such. Well, just a thought. The armor engineer report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed for testing stage. Have you time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Azizlah's firsthand, and I would be interested to hear how you think ours compares. I mean, we give Sid his ship back. I'm pretty sure he can pierce it. I will come too. If you don't mind, though, I am no Yashola and may be able to offer some insight. Of course, time being of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yugiri, I leave you and Hikaru to bring the War Council to up to date. So that your mounts are saddled and ready, my lord, wear the storms. I don't have to travel all the way back to the House of Fears to go do this, do I? I can't remember. Honestly, some idea of what to expect. Having seen the barrier at Azizlah, but having not been the pleasure myself, I'm still curious to see a wall capable of keeping out one of the most massive Imperial airships. Heard by your old Falcon as before. Join me at the overlook near the House of Fears. Oh god, my god. Well, I always have to spend money. Just fast travel me. Dicks! Ooh, no, don't want to do that. Don't worry about Crystarium. That comes later. Yeah, see if I find that. Found it. Yeah, don't worry about the Crystarium stuff. Yeah. Don't worry about that. My head. I'm back. Actually, the funny thing is that you guys see how little money I have. At one point, I made over 100,000. I had over 100,000 because I sold some armor and stuff. Now I just sit here with it. Actually, if anything, this tells me is that when I start playing what do you call it? More of the dungeons and stuff, I should start saying I want stuff so I can sell it on the market for an exuberant price. Now let's pray there are no sandstorms brewing out there. Oh my god, I actually thought about that. That's actually a good idea. Give the word when you're ready to take wing. Because a lot of people don't no longer need the armors and stuff, and that's useful for me. That would be a great source of income. I'm such a horrible person. I think green now. Actually, that looked exactly like the armor I was wearing through Heaven's Ward.
It seems the engineers have matters well in hand.
Yeah.
Should the barrier work as we intend, Doma will be free to reinforce her allies in Alamigo without fear of weakening her own borders. Honored friends, the time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
Oh, it's good coffee. Jesus.
Node 1 is operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming. $1,000 yards, 2,000, 3,000. Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected.
Eight.
4,000, 5,000. Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yards. We've done it.
Is that an Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wool for us. Seems solid enough, though I was hoping for a fireball.
I mean, if you fly it fast enough, it will. I wonder who this is. Oh, that's Alpha now. Oh, I guess somebody did get affected by it. And he's out.
By the gods. It's Alpha now. What are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
Lower the barrier!
Be at ease, girl. The lad is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
No, not him too.
We could identify no cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hien himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions. Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light?
Oh, you remember the mask. Guys from Belsar, the Black Wolf. I go by his regular name because I feel like calling him that's rude.
Aye. Gaius van Belsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished. Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
Impossible! There's no way you could have survived!
Do you remember how it unfolded?
Yeah, stood in the middle of a fire.
How I was deceived by La Habrea? How I was convinced that reviving the Ultima weapon would allow me to bring peace to Eorzea? The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god. Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment at least. A moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause. It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble, and swore vengeance on the Ascians. The Black Wolf has shed his pelt, never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now only to exact revenge. My principal quarry was to be La Habrea, whom I gather you have since ushered onto oblivion.
I mean, necessarily wasn't us who did it. We did beat him at battle, but the Archbishop actually the Archbishop killed him, but took his energy. Yeah, we did. I'll take credit for that.
But so many more remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows, laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword.
Good man.
Are the Scions not of like mind?
In this single respect, perhaps.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired. Among the Ascians, the Black-Masked Ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know. Yet among the red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source. Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group, and while he was indeed a dangerous foe, his powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the source. The first was La Habrea, who plagues us no more. There is also the white-robed Elidibus, and the elusive Emmet Selk, about whom little is known.
We have files on La Habrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmet Selk is new to us? As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit. As emissary, it is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light. Your many deeds in Hydaelyn's name have upset the balance, and I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets. It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy and I came across the scene of a failed uprising. In the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention. They had been slain by Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted, and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours. Gods. You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
Put your fears to rest. We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself. Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch. Regardless, I would draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Zeno Galvus.
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. 'Tis bad comedy.
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized. And what should we find in each and every incubator? But a young Emperor Solus. All of which prompts the question, were the Ascians responsible for these abominations, or was it the will of the Emperor? I must know which hand guides the Empire. Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for the future of my homeland. It is time I return to the hunting of shadows. We should focus on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
We'll set us enough time. You're right, there are more important matters at hand. And he is right. Gotta deal with Black Rose first. And the rest of the Empire. And the Ascians.
There was a time when I scorned those who placed their faith in false gods. Even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again, warrior of light.
So that was the infamous Black Wolf. An unexpected ally, to say the least. Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Doma.
All right. Who's all here? Just Adri and Hakaro. We should online send a contingent to Eorzea. I will stay here in Doma with the remainder of our forces. As much as I would enjoy taking Imperial heads at your side, we cannot leave our borders undefended. Now, when uncanny time, the Master Alphino should be returned to us just as we were testing the barrier. I only hope a cure can be found for his, whatever it is. Otherwise, we'll counsel the unanimous agreement to forestall the Empire's expansion plans in this region. Our allies are willing to send troops to fight in Eorzea. Alright, but with that, guys, I am ending the episode right here. Again, we have another extended because of the fun cutscenes and everything else going on in the background. So, as we learned, as always, the stuff is getting weird here in Eorzea. We've lost, now on record, Thancred, Oriange, and Y'shtola. Alphino is now unconscious, but we learned that while he was still when he was still running around, he was with Gaius and was able to successfully destroy a Black Rose facility. And they also learned about the cloning stuff with the Emperor. I'm not gonna link stuff together. We'll get that at a later date. But fun stuff is we know that Xenos is inhabited more than likely by Elidibus, which again we know that because he was in the white outfit when he was with his supposed father, or aka the Emperor. So the question is, where is Emmett Silch hiding at, and what is he doing? If I had to guess, there's something going on, because you can kind of link it together with certain somebody who popped up, I think, last episode, is he is running around and is in control of the Empire, so, and not the current Emperor, but a past Emperor. So the question is that Emmett Silch, or is that somebody else? I don't know. I don't want to dilute stuff like that. I'll give you the theory of it and sit there and make you wonder about it. Otherwise, play the game and have fun. But when we got back, everybody, we learned that the shield is now operational, fully operational shield. That means Doma, for the most part, should be safe. My only question, I wonder, is how far the shield goes around. Like, they showed in that one section of the burn, but how far does it go from each side? I mean, if it doesn't go that far, I mean, they literally just go... It's like, imagine this. Let's say this is the entrance. Or actually, no, this carpet's better idea and analogy in this. So let's say we're here. Let's say it goes here to here. That shield goes up 5,000, so it goes up to the ceiling. What is stopping them from just literally going, oh no, we can't get in? And up. And we're in. Now, that's my only thing. I'm kind of curious on that part, but I mean, they don't really get into it, so I guess the assumption is it's guarding everything, so we're just going to go with it and roll with it. I don't argue about that. I kind of just agree. We're just going to be okay with it. Besides that, all I'd say is this, guys, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. We come back, we'll talk to Lord Hien here and see if we can get those forces heading into Eorzea. I'll be sure to see you guys next time. Thanks.